In the right place? Chinch. Hey, man, what's going on, dude? I've been waiting here 3 months. Where you been?
You went there? You're 4 months late to the show, bro.
We're back, baby. Let's get it on. Let's do it.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom. Coming in hot, Chinch. What's going on, man? It's been a long time since we said that, man. How you doing?
Bro, I missed you so much. I missed you so much, dude. Oh, my God. We're back. So we're back here.
So great, dude. Let's go.
It took us like a half hour to set up. We got to dust off the cobwebs on your roadcaster over there and stuff.
Dude, I'm a mess. I couldn't figure out the camera. I know I hit 3 buttons on the camera to get it going. I couldn't figure that out. Freaking I can't find the charger for my computer. Thank God there's enough charge for it. We couldn't get the roadcaster mic hooked up. So we're figuring it out. It's like first day of spring training when you're like, my hip doesn't feel right, and my back elbow doesn't feel right. I gotta get my vision's better. You know what I mean? So
and you painted the back. We don't have anything up yet. We got to
nothing's up. Stuff's gonna be coming here soon. We'll have the mayor's office back. We got it all painted and everything. Yeah. So yeah,
we're put it up. Sarah puts it up, right? Sarah.
Yeah. Sarah's gonna put it up.
Oh my God! All right. So
well, I'll help her. We'll both put it up together.
I don't know where to begin, man. First of all, it's pretty cool. I got Casey hooks up his boys, man. I got to go to your first home game. Me and Jess came and met with Sarah. That was awesome.
Yes.
And you got me out there watching BP with my buddy Billy and his kid Billy, which was awesome. But
Billy Jr.
Billy Jr. Big kid. Anyway, so dude, let's just start right here, man. Like, take us through what these last months have been. It must have been a whirlwind, and you're with Aaron Judge and John Stanton and some of the greatest in the game. Like, just walk us through what the past few months.
Whoa, it was crazy, dude. Remember when we first dropped out of the mayor's office podcast, right about that time when we had made the announcement. When I got out to Colorado, you don't realize, man, how I didn't realize those first couple of weeks my head was pretty much spinning. You know what I mean? There's so much going on, so much new stuff, trying to figure it out. But dude, it was one that being the Yankees hitting coach is incredible, man. What an incredible experience. Being with those guys, the guys in the clubhouse, dude, are amazing, man. That whole team is amazing. The staff's amazing. Obviously, Booney's one of my best buddies, but like Carlos Mendoza and Chapman and just down the list of guys, Louis Rojas and the whole staff of guys, man, just been absolutely incredible, top to bottom. So it was just. It was really cool, man. It was an experience that I've absolutely loved it.
That's so great, man. So we won't get into what's next yet, but let me ask you this one thing. Like, since you've been playing, and now you come back, like, is it totally different than when you were a baseball player now in the big leagues than when?
Not really, man. No, not really. I think sometimes everyone. I think there's more analytics now. There's more numbers, and I think that's the big thing in all clubhouses now, man. There's so many analytics. There's more analytics people. I think that's the thing too. Dude, we had analytics. Listen, my last year was at 08. You used to get a packet and go through things. Like, I had every analytic you could want on. This guy throws 72% sliders and, first pitch or fastballs when he comes in. I remember thinking, like, when the lefty comes in to face me, what do I want? Well, I wanted to know, what does he throw first pitch? What's he going to throw with runners in scoring position? And what's he going to try to wipe me out with 2 strikes? It's a lot of the same stuff now. I think one thing that's different is in 2023, they evaluate players so much more on the numbers now. So they're looking for exit velo. They're looking for, launch angle. They're looking for, just a lot of different numbers that are evaluating you as a player. Balls hit on the ground, ball line drives, balls hit, what's your percentage of balls in the air? Do you hit a guy with a 2-seamer well? Do you not hit the slider well? Then they'll play you. They play players more on matchups now. Instead of just having the lineup, here you go, this is your 1 through 9, they're going to match guys up more with the data. So there's just a lot of different things. That was, tell you the truth, it was pretty cool, man. It was like a new world for me as far as that stuff goes. But at the end of the day, in the hitters meetings in front of these guys and talking to these guys about what do we need to do tonight? What's this pitcher going to do? Here's the numbers. And I tell those guys all the time, at the end of the day, when you get in the box, you stand alone in there. Like, you have to have your game plan ready. You have all the information. There's so much information, these guys, and so much video that they could, you could spend time sitting down to like really prepare on your own. So we have the hitters meetings, we go through everything, but at the end of the day, when those guys get in the box, it's time to, it's go time. So I think that has not changed. Like, I think one thing about baseball, it's a very complicated game that's made to be played simple. And, you really have to navigate that world because you don't want to complicate it too much. At the end of the day, hitting, you have 0.4 seconds to decide, are you swinging? Is it a ball? Is it a strike? Is it up? Is it down? Is it a curveball? Is it a slider? Is it a split finger? Is it a fastball? Is it a two-seamer? Is it a cutter? Right? Well, guess what, Chinch? You blink in 0.4. It's almost a miracle that you can hit a baseball. So any other thoughts besides getting a deep breath, slowing yourself down, getting your vision right, pushing the ball out on the plate, make sure that you can get your arms extended on a pitch and hunt that zone. Anything than that, if it's mechanical wise, if it's, numbers wise, I think, one thing I've realized, being in the game right now, it's still that basic. You still have to master your process at the plate.
That great answer, man. Dude, you're already a great analyst, but I told you when we were talking before when you took the job, I'm like, do you realize how much like you are going to be so much more advanced as an analyst of the game because now like you got to be in the clubhouse and do it. So let's get right into doing that.
Yeah.
So now we're back with the mayor's office. We got playoff baseball going on. Last night, man, these Rangers, man, they put a good team together. And Jordan Montgomery, you've been a fan of this dude ever since he got called up by the Yankees years ago. You were totally shocked when he wound up going to the Cardinals, and now. Look what he's paying off for. You got to give Chris Young credit for a lot of this stuff, probably too, right?
Oh, dude, there's so many ways to go with this. I think Jordan Montgomery. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees don't try to get him back. You know what I mean? This guy turns out, he's the top of the rotation type guy. I mean, he's done nothing but dominate, especially in the postseason. He did so great with the Cardinals last year. They traded him to Texas. He basically was one of the guys that saved Texas this season. I mean, Scherzer came in, did well. I mean, he came over, did well, but they had a lot of injuries. When DeGrom went down, Eovaldi went down, he was scuffling too. So, when Montgomery and Scherzer came in, they might have saved the season for the Rangers. And so Montgomery's been unbelievable, dude. You talk about, the Rangers are already in the ALCS, and then he goes game one and matches Verlander pitch by pitch and really goes out there and does what he's been doing, Chinch. I mean, the thing about – here's one thing with the analytics about a guy like Montgomery. The analytics don't love this guy. At the end of the day, he's a pitcher. He's not a guy. He's not this guy. He's not going to blow you away with an upper 90s fastball, 100 miles an hour. The guy's got to pitch. He's going to throw 93, 94. He's going to mix and match. He had a great one against Yordan Alvarez last night. It was a big situation, first and second. I think it was like in the fourth or fifth. I can't remember exactly when it was. But, man, he navigated the at-bats just like a pitcher, like a really good pitcher would. Fastballs up and in off the plate that Yordan went for. Couple balls just off the plate away. And then he buried him with a 3-2 curveball, down and away to get him. And I think that is who Jordan Montgomery is. He's a pitcher, man. He's gonna slice and dice you if he stays out of the heart of the plate, and that's what he does. He does a great job of kind of, living on the corners, living on the edges. And that's what he's done well with the Rangers so far, man. And you got to give Chris Young a ton of credit. I've faced Chris Young used to be a pitcher in the big leagues, for anyone that doesn't know. Guy's like 6'10", 6'11". I think he played basketball at Princeton.
Yep.
I believe.
Right. He was same time as me.
Same time. Okay. It was at Princeton, right?
Yeah, at Princeton. He could have been a pro basketball player.
Yeah, like he was legit. And, dude, it was funny with him. Like, when you look back, another thing we were talking about, too, you look back now, like spin rate. You look at a horizontal break, vertical break. Like, these are the language they talk about now. So you go back and look at Chris Young. Chris Young used to throw like 88 to 90, but you would swing through his – we used to call it the Invisa fastball. I'm like, this guy's throwing a four-seamer right down the middle. How am I missing it? And now I understand. There's something about his release point is, obviously way over 7 feet tall, which that means the ball's coming. That's why Randy Johnson was so tough too. The trajectory of that ball is so different. And Chris Young was so over the top. And it obviously is coming in at a place where it's staying up differently. It looks more like 94, 95 than it does 90. And that's why you miss it. But getting off that, Chris Young is a genius of a man. Obviously, graduated from Princeton, played 10, 12 years in the big leagues, had a nice career there, but he's had a great career so far in the front office. Yeah. Think about the moves he's made, Chinch. His first 2 big moves were go get Corey Seager, go get Marcus Semien. He wanted a 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup. Now, dude, you're talking about 2 MVP candidates. Semien drove in 100 runs in the leadoff spot. Seager is going to be up there for the MVP, right in the conversation with Shohei Ohtani. Over 1,000 OPS. I think he hit over 340. Almost 40 home runs. And just an incredible year. Drove in a ton of runs too. So you got that at the top of the lineup, and then up and down that lineup, you got Josh Young, who's a rookie. You got Adolis Garcia, who's drove in 107 runs. He's nasty. And then you got this Evan Carter, who was their number one prospect. His story is incredible too. If you go back and look at him, it was kind of the COVID draft. He slid into 50, like pick 50 something, and no one had even heard of him. Like when the Rangers took Evan Carter, like, who's Evan Carter? Well, they did a great job of scouting this kid, and he kind of fell because they didn't play a ton of games in COVID. Their scouts did a great job saying, no, this kid's eye is incredible. He knows the strike zone. He's going to grow into his body, and he has. He just turned 21. This kid has been the difference change since he got called up when the Rangers were scuffling in September. He's elevated them, and he's done it it seems like in every playoff game, this guy's in the middle of everything.
Yeah, there's a great article in the Houston Chronicle today I was reading about, and it says rookie Evan Carter plays like a veteran. And then they were kind of talking about how they found him, how they scouted him, because nobody really was the same, because I don't think he had grown into his body yet and things like that. Yeah. And they talk about, Chris Young and how the front office operates. They said they drafted the person, as much as they drafted the player. And apparently this kid's makeup, they actually compared him to having the professional makeup that they saw in Jack Leiter when they drafted Jack Leiter, which obviously Jack has a pedigree. It's not even close, but this kid came from a small town. I think there's only 1,400 people in this kid's town where he grew up, and he's about as big a story as there is.
Yeah, and I guess he didn't really play, like he didn't do the showcases. He didn't really. A lot of these kids nowadays are on the showcase circuit. They just go to the showcases. I don't think he really did it. It was kind of what I love about this story, Chinch? It's kind of an old school scouting story. Back in the day where you had to go to the if you were a good scout, you had to go look at
in your mouth and a scout straw hat. Yeah,
dude. You had to go like to the small places like where Evan Carter's from and these small little towns like where Mike Trout's from, and you had to actually go scout these kids. And these guys would keep secrets till draft day. They would hope that, nowadays the media is so big, you can't hide anywhere, dude. They'll find a kid in India. They'll find a kid in Pakistan if you can throw 98 miles an hour. You know what I mean? They'll find you now. But back in the day, I feel like Evan Carter's kind of that is that story where, kind of fall into the cracks because of the situation of COVID and all the stuff that was going on in this country. Didn't have a ton of games under his belt. You really had to kind of see this kid to appreciate him. And bam, the Rangers nailed it.
This just popped into my head when you mentioned, going to those. It's all like, shoot, man, since you're starting at 11, 12 years old, we're buddies with Eric Burns. His kid is running around the country playing in all these tournaments and stuff that the youth play in now. Not playing in those things, I think kids are growing up a little different than us because your individual performance means 90 times more in those kind of like scouting combine things for these high school kids. If you go 4 for 4, you're good. Okay, I'm on my path to college, or I'm on my path to whatever. But it doesn't really become like as much of a team environment as we had when we were a kid. You probably played with the same kids from the time you were 9 until the time you were 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
You all traveled around together and you were one team. It's a little different the way this happens. So for somebody like him to come up and have that team mentality and come in and just barnstorm like during these playoffs is awesome. Now on the flip side, bro, you got the Philly. Real quick, go back because we haven't started our show yet. Phillies win, the whole controversy with Bryce Harper and if what was attaboy Harper.
Oh yeah, for Arcia.
What was your take on all that? Because you know, like, second half of the season in the locker room. So let's start.
You know what? I saw Arcia say, "Well, I thought what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, but only if media's in the locker room, it's not going to stay in the locker room. You know, you just got to be careful what you're saying." That's the thing. I think Arcia was having fun with it, obviously with his buddies. But I think anytime you give any team billboard, you give them the blackboard stuff where they can, they can run with it. And people are looking. One thing that you realize about players, and it was the same with me. I was looking for chips. I was looking for chips on my shoulder. Like, give me a chip so I can use it. Right? Give me anything. You're talking about Michael Jordan. The one guy said he wasn't, that he could guard him. He's not the best player out there. Then Jordan goes, lights him up, and then says, I use that chip. Everyone's looking for chips. Like, don't give Bryce Harper a chip. Don't give these savages a chip. Like, Bryce Harper, to me, like, he's a game-changing player. Like, he's looking for chips, and that's the bottom line. So, like, as soon as he saw that, I didn't think it was that big a deal, but I knew Harper was going to use it. He thought it was a big deal. It was just give him a little more motivation. Then when he hit the 3-run homer, he's rounding second. He looks at Arcia because Arcia is the shortstop. And then he hits another homer, dead center, looks at Arcia again, rounding second again. For me, it was just more of like, man, you got to let sleeping dogs lie. Don't give the best players in the game any more ammo than they need. And like I said, Arcia was doing it as a fun thing in the clubhouse. I get it. I didn't think it was a big deal that way. I think the big deal was that he gave Harper he poured a little gasoline on Harper to say, I'm going to go dominate. You remember, like I said, you don't want the superstars collecting chips, brother, because at the end of the day, they're coming for you.
When you talk superstars, man, he's so great for this game. There are very few guys who are greater for the game than this guy. He plays so hard. So it's all he cares about, and he cares about his teammates. They've already gotten all their money back on paying him, on getting him in that Philly uniform. He's a perfect Philly. Like, he's a perfect lunch pail Philly, isn't he?
Dude, for me, since he's come up, that first game in LA, I believe, when he came up with the Nationals, he's must-see TV. I think if there's one guy, Aaron Judge too. I got to see Aaron Judge every day. He's must-see TV every night. I mean, he's incredible, right? But like Bryce Harper, he's must-see TV because just the way he plays the game, even the way he's playing first base now, even the way he plays first is awesome. Yeah. But I think the way he navigates as a hitting coach too, sitting back to watch how these guys navigate at bats. When you watch Bryce Harper, the reason he's a 300 hitter, the reason he, hits 30 pumps a year, but doubles, triple, drives and runs, everything, dude, he can navigate a bat so better than anybody in the league. And I think one thing I love about Harper is you can see the growth of him as a player. He just continues to get better. He's not going to swing outside the strike zone. He's gonna make you come into his zone, and he's gonna hunt that area. Like, even some of the pitches he just missed, he's right on, and that's a sign of a good hitter. He's calm, he's slow, he uses his legs so well. Watch when he hits a home run, Chinch. Watch his back knee, which Kevin Long is one of the best hitting coaches out there. Watch his back knee almost hits the ground. They drive so well with their backside. That whole lineup does. So a guy like Bryce Harper, man, you're right. For me, he's must-see TV, and I'm looking forward to watching the game tonight just to see him play.
Yeah, wait, can I stop you down real quick right there? Because you mentioned Judge. I got to ask you this because you're talking about that patience and all that. What is you got to see Aaron Judge every single day? How does he compare like that? Like, what does he do in a box that makes you freak out every day and go, this guy's amazing?
Well, a couple things about Judgy, man. Like, there's nothing better than the best player, the best person on your team also being the best player. This guy is as good as a human being as they come. Isn't his character, what he stands for, how he shows up every day. He's tough as nails. At the end of the day, those last few months, he was still grinding with that foot, but still showing up and playing, and being an example for a lot of the young guys and the kids that had come up at the end. But listen, man, his work is impeccable. The way he works, his routine. And, him in the batter's box, it's just fun to watch because there's not a ton of guys that can let the ball travel the way Aaron Judge does. That's why he goes to right center and right field better than anyone in the game, right? He can pull the ball out of the catcher's mitt, just the way his bat path works. And just the way he navigates in a bat, how he's looking for his pitch. The one thing about Judgy too is how he hits. He's so slow in there, right? Everything's very slow. Everything's very visual. He picks his leg up. He's kind of sitting there and he's ready to go. So yeah, watching Judgy, like for me, like I said, it's must see TV. It's even better when you're in the dugout watching them because, it's just, it's, you appreciate greatness when you see it. And, when it's all said and done, he'll be one of the greatest to ever do it.
The other good thing that came out of this was watching you whenever you guys would come out to the first baseline for national anthem stuff. I'm like, now Casey knows what it's like when I stand next to him. When you're next to Stanton and Judge, I'm like, those guys are so much bigger than Sean. That's crazy.
Dude, they're so big, man. Oh, dude, Stanton is huge. G's the best monster of a man. Judgy's huge. And also Clay Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
Closer. Clay Holmes is huge, too. I'm like, man, what do they feed these dudes? Jeez.
So cool. All right, so back to this series. What's your take? I know you probably didn't get to see the National League as much as.
Oh yeah, dude, we saw the D-backs. We faced the D-backs down the stretch. That's why we had to play them in that hurricane. Ophelia, I think, came through.
Right.
We ended up playing the Diamondbacks in full rain. Dude, the Diamondbacks are good, man. Torey Lovello's done a great job. In that rotation with Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly at the top there. That's a really nice 1-2 punch they have. Their bullpen has been just okay, but it's been great in the postseason so far. But at the end of the day, man, if we're talking Judge, we're talking Harper, we're talking, Evan Carter, Seager, these guys, you got to talk Corbin Carroll. I mean, Corbin Carroll, he does not play like a rookie, man. This kid plays with his hair on fire. That whole lineup has really taken on his personality, the way he plays a great defense, but offensively, man, this kid is not that big. He's not that big of a human, but man, he plays like it. The way he hits the ball, can crush a baseball over 420 feet, right? He steals bases. I think he stole 50 bases this year. He plays great defense. He runs the bases well. He'll run right in your face, to an outfielder. If a guy's just lollygagging, bam, he'll run right in your face, score first to third, goes for triples. Just the way he plays, man. Big hit after big hit, clutch player. So I was really, really impressed with him, man. Really impressed with him. Christian Walker in the middle of that lineup. He's having a great year. He rakes. Tommy Pham coming over there for them. That was a big trade in the middle of that lineup. Thomas out there in center field, can flat out go get it. Ketel Marte is the real deal, bro. Top to bottom. They got a great lineup, man. They got a great team. It's kind of slid under the radar, obviously, because they're out there in the NL West, and they kind of, got in with the wild card. And I must admit, I don't think, I myself included, had them getting by the Brewers, but they came in and threw the first punch against the Brewers, and they've been rolling ever since, man. They really came in, took care of the Dodgers. So this is going to be a great series, man. Phillies, Diamondbacks, two teams, that got in on the wild card, and it's going to be a great matchup.
I'm so glad we're back, man. Dude, there were so many days. There's so many days like during the season where, like, normally in the night I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is so great. We could talk about this on a show tomorrow. And then I was like, yeah. Turn the TV on, and sitting there in the dugout like this, always top stepping, Sean. There was such a void in my life from not talking to you every day.
Dude, me too, Chinch. Yeah, I missed you too, bro. We were saying when the season ended, when are we going to get started? So I was like, let's do it next week. So I'm so glad we're going too, bro. This is great to be back, and all the fans out there, let's go. Jump back on.
Thanks for sticking with us, by the way.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people being like, when you come back. Yeah, back, but no, really, such nice people, and said so many things about how they missed the show.
Yeah, let's give Nolan some credit too for keeping our social media going.
Yeah, that's really cool that our buddy Nolan, super talented, super duper talented dude.
Yeah, thank you, Nolan.
He's been cutting some clips that maybe a lot of our newer fans had not seen from like all our old shows. We've done a lot of shows, man. And hey, by the way, since we said we were coming back, we're still in the top. We still have a pretty substantial number in like the U.S. sports podcast. So people People have been listening. They're probably looking for little secrets, like maybe Sean Casey said something here about what he really thinks about Anthony Volpe. Go back. But
yeah, one of the great Anthony Volpe, one of the greatest kids this game has ever seen. That nicest guy's going to be an all-star player in this league, bro. That's what I think of him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Chinch, I want to go back to one more play last night, really quick. We didn't talk about it in the Rangers Astros game. Did you see that play in the 8th? Bregman hits that rocket. And if you've ever played in Houston before, bro, the Crawford boxes, dude. So it's a weird angle. Yeah, the Crawford boxes to left is a short porch. Danny Graves went deep there. If Danny Graves goes deep there, that means anyone can go deep there, okay? Sorry, Gravy. That's just the bottom line. Guy was swinging a wet noodle out there, and the guy went deep in the Crawford boxes. But anyway, that thing jets out to the, if you go look at it, it jets out like the wall. So go back and look at that play, dude. Evan Carter makes an unbelievable play. And the reason it was an unbelievable play is because you kind of don't know where you're at there if you haven't played there. So, and I saw an article too that was talking about Robbie Grossman had gone out there, who had played there and left, and was showing him the angles before game one of where the ball hits and how you got to get there. So Altuve, I don't know if you saw this play. Altuve is on first. Now he's going to second thinking he's going to score. What he does though is he touches second base. And I guess the rule is if you touch second base, if you touch any base, you have to retouch it on the way back. He doesn't retouch it on the way back. They do the review because the umpire initially missed it. Review, bam, double play. Huge part of the game. It changed the game. They end up winning 2-0. But that play right there is huge. For all the kids out there listening, when you cross over a base, you got to retouch it and go back. I mean, even big leaguers make that mistake, but big play. And like here we are again talking about Evan Carter, not only offensively, but on the defensive side.
Yeah. I mean, you just can't take it away. Like, I love watching. This is the best time of year for baseball. It's not even
best.
Especially when you can dissect one game. You don't do that. Like in August, you're not really. It's more like the summer, and especially as a fan and an analyst, you're going through it with them. But playoff baseball, when every single pitch matters, every single decision matters. It's like, there's not much like it in the world of sports.
No.
We got a lot of football we can talk about, but why don't we save that? We got a whole week to talk football.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, all right. We just got.
I'm excited, dude. Chinch, I feel like this is
falling asleep.
What'd you say?
We haven't done this in so long. I haven't talked out loud to an audience. I've been just doing the 30-13 team, which has been going pretty cool.
Dude, how's the 30-13 team, dude? It looks like you and Trey Wingo and Chase Dan. Dude, you guys had Travis Kelce on the other day, dude.
Oh my God! Whoa, we gotta talk about that.
Dude, my daughter was going nuts. She's like, Dad. She's like, you became like a star in my house. Like, Chinch has a Travis Kelce on.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that. This is a great point. I'll bring this one up. So, the cool thing is, like, Chase Daniel, nobody knows this, but Chase played for a number of teams. He's one of the first to tell you. He made millions and millions of dollars, and I think he only threw 9 touchdowns in his career. But he was like one of the best backups. Like, he was one of the best backups. And first of all, at Mizzou, he's a god. He went back there.
Is he really?
Yeah. He got them to number 1 year. I think it was a junior year.
Didn't he play that? How he played like 12 years in the NFL, right? Or 14? Something ridiculous.
Career. He knows the game well. He's a great guy. But he actually threw the very first touchdown pass in the NFL to Travis Kelce in Kelce's first preseason game. So they're boys. And so this whole thing explodes. The day you heard about Kelce and Taylor Swift, I mean, I don't have to explain this to anybody. It's one of the biggest stories that they were on Saturday Night Live the other night. It's like,
yeah, dude, it's incredible.
One of the most insane stories in the world. But so Chase was like, you want to come on? He's like, yeah, I'll come on with you guys. So we were the first interview he did. I mean, he does his podcast with his brother, who's an awesome dude too. But he comes on our little show that we just started like 3 weeks ago. Dude, millions upon millions of like tweets and likes and responses. With this one clip, one question Trey asked him, he goes, and he didn't even say her name. He goes, did you ever think this would be this big? Right. He gave his like 15-second answer, and a nice, honest answer. Bro, Entertainment Tonight, People Magazine, What else? I can't even. It was on Entertainment Tonight.
It's my mom's favorite show. It's still my mom's favorite show, dude.
I got a message just like my grandmother was watching this and said where you were. Somebody said that, and I was like, holy crap! And you were saying like, I told the guys, I'm like, Sean's daughter's like, do you know that Chinch had Travis Kelce on the show?
Yeah, it's incredible, dude. We're the biggest. My daughter Jillian and my daughter Carly. Dude, we're the biggest. We just went. I've been to 3 Taylor Swift concerts, dude. You kidding me? We're the biggest Taylor Swift fans in the country. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I got my daughter telling me what's going on in your life. She's like, Chinch and Travis. I had to text you like, bro, I can't believe you landed Kelce.
Yankee, and Chinch did a podcast where they talk about Taylor Swift. Hey, I got a quick question for you. We've been banging this around at the 33rd team. In their prime, and I will say Taylor Swift does have to be in her prime. There can't be a bigger prime than what she's in right now, right? She's in her prime.
Yeah.
More popular or bigger Taylor Swift or Madonna?
Oh wow borderline, feels like I'm going to lose my mind. You just keep on. Hey dude, I still listen to the 80s because dude, this song brings me back to like I used to love Madonna.
But don't
preach. I mean, double deep.
Here's my argument to the question. My argument is, if there were social media when Madonna was there, I think she might have been bigger. But Taylor Swift, here's the difference. Here. This is my thought. Listen to this. Your kids can listen to Taylor Swift right now, and it's a family affair. There was a time in Madonna's career where you were not going to bring your high school kid to a Madonna concert.
Well, I mean, Like a Virgin, are you allowed to have that as a song nowadays? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. Yeah, you probably, half of the stuff she did, she probably.
Dude, you know what's a ridiculous story? This is incredible. I was with a buddy of mine, Mrs. Jeffrey. So we're like, it's like 5th or 6th grade, I think. And I don't know why I remember this. That song is so big, Like a Virgin. So I'm like, and in 6th grade, you start to feel like you're starting to know stuff. My sister I asked her what a virgin was. And my sister's like, virgin means twin. I was at she's like, a virgin's a twin. And so I'm like, so next thing you know, I'm in the car with like, and I think Mrs. Jeffrey was appalled that Like a Virgin was on. And I'm like, well, Mrs. Jeffrey, this means like a twin. It's like a twin. And I remember it got really awkward. And she's like, that's not what it means, Sean. I'm like, yeah, it is. My sister told me it means twin. So then I just remember that moment because that was really awkward. And then we drove off. And then I found out what Like a Virgin meant. I was like, well, looks like it's not a twin.
Oh man, it would have been even cooler if like you're going to have twin friends over and your parents are like, who's coming over? And like, oh, my 2 virgin friends.
They're virgins. They're virgins. They look exactly alike. They look exactly alike.
They look exactly like they're virgins. That's great. All right, let's end on a high note, dude. I'm gonna have to go do like some push-ups and get back into Mayor's off of shape, dude.
Dude, let's go. Me too. I just hit 35 push-ups before I got on. Dude, you look good. You got a little workout in this morning. Chinch is back with the pythons.
Got a little python going. I'm getting back in shape, man.
You know who's got the pythons going? Ruggiero.
Oh my god,
buddy! You know Mark's listening to this right now. He's waiting for this episode to come back out.
Yeah, among others. All right, everybody. Well, man, I feel so much better. I feel more complete now.
Me too, Chinch. We're back and rolling, dude.
Let's go. All right.
And I love that we can talk Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and it really is legit because you had him on the show, dude. Your show. Let's go.
All right.
All right, brother. So I'll see you tomorrow. And great seeing you, bro. And thank you, everybody. Come on back for the ride with us. We're back and we're ready to go every day. We'll be here. Love you, Chinchy. See you tomorrow, brother.